sun sets, I come alive. The world keeps running, but I stand still, obeying your command, Yahuwah's will. No working hands, no toilet ground, only peace and joy abound. A day of rest, a gift so true, Yahuwah, I delight in you. Shabbat shalom, a time of peace, a quarter sign I will not cease. I lay it down, I leave it all, and in your presence I stand tall. No buy and selling, just pure delight in Yahuwah's rest from evening light. A day for worship, a time to be with family close and heart set free. I hear your voice in stillness deep. You call me close, my soul to keep. Your love surrounds, your spirit leads. You give me rest, you meet my needs. Set apart from worldly ways, I lift my voice in songs of praise. Your covenant forever stands. I trust, obey, and lift my hands. The work is done, the table set. Your Sabbath peace I won't forget. I breathe it in, I let it flow. A glimpse of what's to come, I know. Shabbat shalom, a time of peace, a quarter sign that will not cease. I lay it down, I leave it all, and in your presence I stand tall. From week to week this truth remains, a day of joy and touched by chains. Oh Yahuwah, my King, my rest, in your Sabbath I am blessed. No buy and selling, just pure delight in Yahuwah's rest from evening light. No buy and selling, just pure delight in Yahuwah's rest for hearts set free. No buy and selling, just pure delight in Yahuwah's rest for hearts set free. No buy and selling, just pure delight in Yahuwah's rest for hearts set free. From week to week this truth remains, a day of joy untouched by chains. Oh Yahuwah, my King, my rest, in your Sabbath I am blessed.
Shabbat Shalom, Remnant family. My name is Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jaden.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Hila.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah channel. And we have been completed because we have all of you guys out there, and it is you guys that make our family absolutely complete on this beautiful Shabbat day, this beautiful appointed time that we have been called by our Creator as a day of rest, a day that is different than all the rest of this week. And as we are learning about these laws, these statutes, and the commandments that the rest of the world has forsaken, that they find no value in, it is these laws, statutes, and the commandments that will complete our life and give us a breath of fresh air. So welcome to everybody that is out there. Thank you very much for joining in. We appreciate all of you guys out there. And let us, Jade, give us Cade, will you open us up in prayer?
Precious Father, thank you for this day, and thank you for this Shabbat. Once again, another day you have set apart for us, a day you have told us to fulfill, to do, to be obedient to this command. And we thank you for this day, that you are willing to give us a day of rest and not have us work all days of the week, that we are able to rest in your glory, rest in your mercies, and understand that you have set us up for us so that we can be rested, that we can be refreshed for the trials and tribulations of the coming week. We thank you for your Son, we thank you for your Torah, thank you for the prophets, and we ask that today your Torah we are able to understand with ease, that we are able to understand well. There is no confusion with what your commands, what you want us to do. Thank you for all in His name. Amen.
All right, so here we are, everybody, and you know, this is a special day. As Sister Barb said, finally a Shabbat. Indeed, yes, it is. And it is a long week. And, you know, we live in a period of extreme darkness in a world that has forsaken our Elohim. And you see it every day, every week, day after day. You know, for those of you, we strongly urge people not to watch the Tell Live Vision programming news. But for those that do, it just gets darker and darker and darker. And the kingdom of Elohim is a different set of people. It's a different set of rules and regulations. And as we are about to go into these beautiful laws, these beautiful statutes and commandments that we do every Shabbat, it's something that we do here, and we try to honor our Creator because He has given us an opportunity to even touch His Word, to even have His Word, and to be able to follow it. And it's something that when we are a set apart people, the Scriptures very clearly says most of the world doesn't make the kingdom. And nobody can seem to figure this out because it seems like nobody wants to read their Scriptures. You have 400,000 different religions, and every one of them are contrary to what the actual Scriptures say. There's not a single religion out there that actually has value in the first 5 books of Scriptures. Not even those who are of the little place over in the Middle East. They have a different set of doctrine, a different set of books, a different set of regulations. And we have commandments that say not to add to and not to take away from the Torah, the first 5 books of Scriptures. And so as we are becoming this set apart people, as we are qualifying ourselves to be this remnant, it is within these words and these regulations that our lives will truly be changed. Everything that we look through and look at, when we look at it through the lens of the Torah, is different. How we operate, how we run our families, how we eat, how we run our businesses, everything is very much different. And what Jaden is about to read to us right now is something that it says very clearly that these words which I am commanding you today, we're talking Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. It's a group of all of the Torah. And that is what Moshe is saying to everybody out there. And all of us should be called Yisrael. We should all be called Hebrew people, right? We shouldn't be called Christians or Catholics or Mormons or Hindu or whatever it is. We should probably be close to what our Creator called His people, which is Yisrael. And so when it says, "Hear, O Yisrael," He is talking, Moshe, our great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, is talking to all of you. This is a message for us today in this day and age. Jade.
Hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah is one, and you shall love Yahuwah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your might. And these words I am commanding you today shall be in your heart, and you shall impress them upon your children, and shall speak of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them as a sign in your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house, and on your gates.
So, guys, this is the importance of the Torah, right? This is not, I like to reiterate this verse, and I don't want it to get old, because a lot of folks that will come along here have never ever heard the Torah. A lot of folks have never ever heard anything like this, right? When we have grown up in this religious system, we all think that these laws are nailed to the cross. We think they don't matter, and that a guy named Jesus came and made a brand new set of doctrine for all of us. And that is not true, because number one is there were no J's in Hebrew, and so there's no Hebrew man's name that was ever be called Jesus. And so the closest that we have is Yahushua, Yeshua. There's a couple different pronunciations of it, and I know everybody says things in their own little way. Kate, will you please take care of Leo here? So, guys, let us get into this real quick. Miss Nicole, talk to our people.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so we have Chris with our Yah Scriptures channel. We have Sue, Pitbull Pack Life, that's you. William and Sarah, Curtis, Joanna, Learning the Way, Regina, Genie Not of This World, Yehoshua in Hebrew means salvation, Sister Barb and family, Razul, Brandy and family, Danny Boy, which is her father-in-law, Amaya, Gina, Sylvia, the judge, Candy and Ruby, Josh Rhodes, Dolly, and I'm sure Jerry's there as well. I haven't seen him come in yet. Loving Yah, And I think that's everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize.
All right. So thank you to everybody now and who is in the future for sure. Let us get into this beautiful Torah commands that we have right before us. And this is the app you're looking at right here. This is a Yah Scriptures app, and Miss Nicole will throw a couple of links into this. This is absolutely free of charge. This is all 103 books that have come from the Big Blue, which is, it's passionately called Big Blue, which is a very large scriptures that is out there. And this week, the Spanish version will come out on Android. We already released the Spanish version on Apple. That is out and running, and we are going to be popping out 2 brand new versions of it in the next months or so. The next version we're actually going to have out is our Swahili version of it. We are going to keep up with the Joneses, as they say, and we are going to pop out Swahili. And there's about 200 million different people that speak Swahili, and then the Hindu version, Eli's trying to have done inside of about 10 days. And so we have both the Hindi and the Swahili that is on the cooking pot right now, and we should be able to get these out. And these will have the restored name of our Creator, His Son, and then it will be completely in, an extremely foreign language. But this all has, in whatever native language you are in, will have the Torah commands just like you guys see here in English. And so this is a gift from our Creator to all of you guys, that you guys are able to have this, and you freely given, freely you will receive. And so here we are with this absolute beautiful thing. And that's the nice thing about the Torah, right? You join all this religious systems out there, right? Right out of the gate, they're going to tax you 10%, right? They'll have their little panhandlers come around with their little tithing plates as you're worshiping on the wrong day, eating the wrong food, doing all sorts of evil stuff in the eyes of our Creator. And there's always a cost to it. And the thing about the Torah life is there is no cost to it. Our Creator has made sure that we all have the ability to read, understand, and get His Word absolutely free of charge. And so this has been, last week I let you guys know that we are in 178 countries is the downloaded digital versions. Thousands of downloads now that we are at with the digital versions. It has lapped the Big Blue by far, and it's going mad. Every week there's hundreds more, and so this is taking off like wildfire. Praise Yah that His people and His remnant are able to read these scriptures and have the Torah at their hands and be able to see this. And so the hand of our Creator is working amongst His people. And, we may be in the end times, and, you can see a lot of fruit coming in these end times. And it's amazing to be any part of this at all. And so everybody, thank you very much for everybody who's been a part of this. If you've been in this in any way, shape, or form, you've gotten the Big Blue, you've gotten the digital downloads, you guys are sharing verses and sharing Yah Scriptures. We can't thank you guys enough. And so let us get into these beautiful Torah commands, and these things are fantastic. When you're looking at the rules and regulations that the rest of the world has before our eyes, it's a slop fest. When you see the beautiful Torah commands that have been given to us from our Creator, it is just a beautifying thing. And so we will go through these. If anyone in the chat has any kind of questions, you guys want to go through them, please let us know. This is the time to make it happen. Okay. Commandment number 1, be fruitful.
Number 2, multiply.
Replenish the earth, subdue it, have dominion over the fish, fowl, and every living creature.
The earth bearing, and every tree is for food.
Man and woman should build their own families. Master sin.
Every clean moving thing that lives shall be food for you.
Do not eat the blood. Walk before me and be perfect.
Guard Yahuwah's covenant, laws, statutes, and commandments.
Every male shall be circumcised at 8 days old.
Teach your children the command and guard the way of Yahuwah.
Remember Yahuwah's name for all generations.
Keep the Passover, Pesach.
Keep the feast of unleavened bread, the festival of matzah.
There is one Torah for the stranger and the Hebrew.
Sanctify all firstborn to Yahuwah.
There are no mighty ones before Yahuwah.
You shall not make graven images.
Do not bring Yahuwah's name to naught.
Keep the Shabbat.
Honor your parents.
Do not kill.
Do not break wedlock.
Do not steal.
Do not make false accusations against your neighbor.
Do not covet anything of your neighbor's.
Do not make an altar from a rock that a tool has touched.
Do not go to the altar by the steps.
If a man steals cattle, he shall restore it 5 times.
Yahuwah's laws for criminals.
Do not lie with beasts.
No sacrifices to other Elohim.
Do not oppress the stranger, fatherless, or widow.
Do not charge your brother interest.
If you borrow your neighbor's raiment, return to him before sunset.
Do not curse the ruler of your people.
Do not eat what is torn of any beast.
No false report.
Do not follow the multitude of evil.
Do not judge unrighteously against the poor.
Bring back your enemy's cattle if you find it going astray.
Help the animals of your enemy.
Stay away from rumors and gossipers.
Take no bribes.
Do not oppress the stranger, love the stranger.
Give your land rest in the 7th year.
Do not mention any pagan names.
Keep the feast of Yahuwah.
Do not cook your goat in his mother's milk.
Obey the messenger Yahuwah sends before you.
Do not bow down to other Elohim.
Serve Yahuwah.
Make no covenant with other Elohim or outsiders of the land.
Do not make or use this anointing oil on a normal person. Do not make or use this perfume on a normal person.
Do not eat the fat.
Do what you say you are going to do.
Return what is your neighbor's.
Obey Yahuwah's dietary laws.
Women's time of separation.
Obey Yahuwah's hygiene laws.
Keep the Day of Atonement, Yom HaKippurim.
Do not uncover the nakedness of your family.
Do not take your woman's sister for wife.
Do not lie with a woman in her uncleanness.
You shall not sacrifice your children to Moloch.
Do not be a sodomite.
Be Kodesh, holy.
Do not reap the corners of your field, or you shall not glean your vineyard.
Do not deal falsely or defraud your neighbor.
Do not lie or be a liar.
Pay your workers for the day's wage they are due.
Do not harm the disabled.
Do not endanger your neighbor.
Do not hate your brother.
Rebuke your neighbor for his sin.
Love your neighbor as yourself.
Do not diverse your cattle.
Do not mingle your seed.
Do not mingle linen and wool.
Do not lie with a taken woman.
Do not eat the fruit of the trees for 3 years.
Do not practice sorcery.
Do not round your beard or the corners of your head.
Do not cut yourself for the dead.
Do not get tattoos.
Do not prostitute your daughter.
Do not defile your temple.
Do not consult the medium.
Respect your elders.
Have correct weights and measures.
Do not walk in the manners of the nation.
Okay, so let's talk about the walking in the manners of the nation real quick. Before that, the judge is the Apple Spanish version has been released. Yes, that is on the Apple Store.
And I posted it. It's the third link I posted when I posted the other one.
Okay, so I guess the links are up there a little bit. So yeah, the Spanish version and the Android will be out in like a day or two. We did a final review of it, so it should be going out and it's completely ready to roll. Now, walking in the manners of the nations, you know, that's I have to throw. I'm not going to throw dear old mom under the bus, and she says I can't call her dear old mom. She says I have to call her mature mom. And I talked to her yesterday, and I said, I always bring you up in my little lessons, mom. She says, oh, you do? And I said, yes, because I think everyone finds it really fascinating that you are such a hardcore Christian and you refuse to obey the laws of our Creator. And she told me that she's very happy with how she serves God. And she's like, I'm good with all of my faith and good with all this stuff. And she kept saying my. And I told her, I said, you know, Mom, there is a command that says don't do what is right in your own eyes. And she goes, no, there isn't. And I said, Mom, we also have commands that we're not supposed to walk as the rest of the world walks. And she is very, very confident in her spirituality. She's very, very confident in what the preacher on the worshiping on the first day is saying to her. And it is, you know, to the expense that we were sitting there having a good conversation and the Torah came up and she goes, oh, I think your dogs need you. And then she starts waving. She's like, okay, son, I got to go. Goodbye. I'm like, okay, goodbye, Mom. And so that was that. That's one way to get rid of my mother very quickly on the phone is by start talking about the Torah. And it's something that the programming that the world and walking in the manners of the nations bring forward. It is something that when people start learning a false religion and a cult religion, that they can't get out of it. And the first thing that they do is they go into that battle mode where they don't want to hear it. It doesn't matter if it's in the scriptures or not. According to the Christians, they have been so brainwashed that all they have is 10 commandments, but even then they forget about the fourth commandment, which is obey the Sabbath day, because they can worship any day they want because Jesus is their Sunday. Jesus is their Lord's day, is how they say it. And so I do find it very fascinating, and I find it very disheartening that Mother Dear is going to be very, very sad as she takes her last breath. And she's getting up in age. She's 70-something years old. And 76 years old. And she is just a die-hard Christian. And I told her I'd keep working, and the best I can do is ask all of you guys if you guys will pray for my mother, that there's something that will happen before the end. But it is one of these things that it doesn't look like anything's going to be happening here. And so I guess when we walk in the manners of the nations, and that's not just keeping Easter and Saturnalia and all these other things, it's going to church, right? Going to a kirke, to a first day reading of some sort of Paul's doctrine that everybody has this tickling me in the ear, feel good sound, and it's not scriptural. And there's many people, billions, that have gone to hell because of this, billions and billions because of this religious system. And I have never found a single religious system that I find any kind of value in. The Torah life is not a religious system. It is a lifestyle. It is something that it's not just how to worship our Elohim, but it's how to walk through these lands being protected, right? We have Leviticus 11 that tells us our dietary laws. And if we want to be stupid, then we go eat all this unclean food. We all eat all this stuff that'll kill us, catfish and horses and pig. And all of these things have massive amounts of bacteria, and they kill off people every single year. And so the Torah is really a way of life. And inside the Torah, we have a way of worshiping our Elohim and how he wants us to come before him. But there's so much more to the Torah. And it's something that when we are in the kingdom to come, when all of us are walking the Torah in the kingdom, it's going to be an amazing place. All of you guys, all my family out there that are Torah observant, it's just going to be a really cool place to be. So continuing on. Keep the feast of first fruits, Shavuot, Omer Count, and Pentecost.
Keep the Feast of Trumpets, Yom Kippur. Keep the Feast of Sukkot, Shemini Atzeret.
If you blaspheme the name of Yahuwah, you shall be put to death.
If you kill your neighbor's animal, you must give him another.
Repay injury for injury.
Honor the Yovel, Jubilee year.
Kids have gotten lost here.
No, I
Fell asleep.
I did fall asleep. I went to a different spot. So I lost my
It used to be easier when it had numbers.
We're in the Leviticus section.
Okay.
Yeah, I found it.
Honor the Yovel, Jubilee year.
Confess your sins to Yahuwah and repay if you have trespassed against.
The Torah of being at Zir.
Where is he on the four corners of your garments?
The law is whoever touches a corpse.
Follow Yahuwah's law of inheritance.
The law of keeping your oath to Yahuwah.
Do not add or take away from the work.
And guys, this is a spectacular one, guys. If you guys can keep your devices on, don't fall asleep on me. Do not take away and do not add to the word, guys. This is extremely important. I know I touch on this here and there, but hopefully someone out there will catch on to this and understand that if you don't find it in the Torah, if you do not find it in the Basora, then it is not doctrine. And what I mean by that is that if you are worshiping on a Sunday, you're adding to or taking away. If you have said, well, all food has been made clean, and you think that actually exists in the scriptures, it doesn't. That's some lying scribes and some demons that have put together some scriptures that have put that in there, that have literally damned people to hell because, the pig thing is a huge thing. Once it comes to breaking a little bit of laws, then pretty much you don't have any laws, right? You just don't care. And that's one of the biggest things is with the pig doctrine, is that the Christians cannot just fathom that, oh no, this porky pig is not to be eaten. We're not supposed to sit there and eat this stuff that is going to harm our bodies. The entire thing about the Torah walk is that we are trying to protect our temples, our bodies, the things that our Creator has given to us and endowed a soul. Something that our bodies are all going to die, but the ability to stay alive comes from within the Torah. Staying alive healthfully comes from all of this stuff inside of the Torah. So when we are taking away, when we're adding to the word, and it doesn't matter, you have all of these different religions, including the Jews, that have all this other doctrine. They have a ton of other doctrine in it. Look at Catholicism and look at the amount of different doctrine that comes out of it. You have stuff that came out of 325 AD, the Creed of Nicaea, where they took this Trinity and they made the Trinity a doctrine. Nobody prior to this ever said that the Father and the Son were the same individual. But now they have caused massive confusion. Praying to Mary comes from adding to the doctrine. Praying to Peter, having all of these idols. Look at the idols all over the Catholic Church. And that's just one of them. I mean, you could throw any one of these religions. Every one of these religions are filthy. Mormonism is foul. The entire setup of Mormonism, baptizing for the dead, all of their whole temple ceremonies that they do, having their old men sit there and wash the women down when they're getting married. It's just a foul thing. So we've got to be very, very careful in our Torah walk that we are not adding to and we're not taking away from the word. The Torah is the Torah, and that's the gospel. That's the final line in the sand. If you're about to do something and you're not looking at it through the lens of the Torah, then you're doing yourself an injustice, and you could get into a lot of trouble. The Torah is the best thing that any one of us have ever had, and I've said it before. I'll say it again. The Torah is a breath of fresh air that all of us, when we bring this Torah alive, and the Torah is a living, breathing thing. Once you start keeping the Torah, once you start writing on your heart, mind, and soul, once it starts being a part of your everyday understanding, you realize this Torah gets up and walks around. It is something that is embedded into your heart. It's embedded into your soul. It just becomes a part of you. And the stronger you are in Torah, the better chance we have of the Ruach HaKodesh getting into our hearts, minds, and souls. Continuing on, that leads to the command, which is guarding our soul. And this is so very important because the only one thing that we have to take out of this world is our soul. We don't have money, we don't have clothes, we don't have cars, we don't have any of this stuff. We have a soul. And our soul is either going to be destined for a bad place or it's going to be destined for a place of rest. And so as we walk through these lands, a lot of us will never ever look up. A lot of us will never ever care, right? All these people, all these Christians, all the laws are dead on the cross, blah, 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 blah. That's not guarding your soul. That's laughing and that's blasphemy. When you say that the laws of our Creator mean nothing, that's filthy blasphemy that is just become rampant in this world of religion. Because that's every single religion, right? Every single religion has no value on the laws. You cannot find one. I've never found one in researching for a very long time of a religious system that has the laws of our Creator as that only, right? There's always other things. They always stick a Christmas tree up, or they have Easter little bunnies and eggs and garbage and blasphemous stuff out there. This isn't what it's about, guys. So continuing on, learn to fear Yahuwah.
You shall love Yahuwah with all your heart.
Bind the laws upon your hand and the pledge between your eyes.
Write the laws on your doorposts.
Do not tempt Yahuwah.
Do what is right and good in the sight of Yahuwah.
Do not be afraid of your enemies.
Remember Yahuwah.
Circumcise your heart.
Cleave to Yahuwah.
Swear by his name.
Destroy graven images.
Do not make an idol of Yahuwah as the pagans do to their Elohim.
Rejoice in all Yahuwah has blessed you with.
Do not do what is right in your own eyes.
Do not hearken to the words of false prophets.
Do not make any bonds between your eyes for the dead.
You shall not eat any abominable thing.
You shall give to a stranger clean food that dies of itself, but you shall not eat of it.
Give tithe of your increase and seed year by year.
Laws at the end of the 7-year release.
Do not borrow from the nations.
Do not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from the poor.
Guard month 1 of Yahuwah's calendar.
3 times a year all males shall appear before Yahuwah.
You shall make judges and officers in all your gates.
Do not plant Asherah poles near the altar.
Do not be 2 or 3 witnesses.
Hearken unto the prophet Yahuwah has chosen.
prophet test of Deuteronomy.
Do not remove your neighbor's property line.
How to deal with a false witness among Torah keepers.
The first child is the adult portions.
If your brother's cattle or clothes are lost and you find them, you must return them.
A woman should not wear what pertains to a man, nor a man wear what pertains to a woman.
If you find a bird's nest with the mother and the babies or eggs, take the babies, not the mother.
If you build a new house with a flat roof that is able to be lived on, you must put a railing around it.
Do not be a prostitute.
Do not use dirty money.
Torah of divorce.
Do not take a person's millstone for a pledge.
If you lend to your brother, do not enter his house to get your payment. He must bring it to you. Return his clothing before sunset if thou hast pledged.
Do not oppress a hired servant that is poor and needy.
Every man should be put to death for his own sin.
Do not go back to forgotten sheep in the field. Leave it for the stranger, fatherless, and widow.
Do not muzzle your ox when he treads out grain.
If your brother dies and has no child, you shall take his wife and name the firstborn after your brother.
At the end of 7 years, you are to read the Torah at the feast of Sukkot.
Yeah, and I see your message, Judge. And I don't see scriptures like that. I really don't. I've read enough of these scriptures to know that, ignorance isn't bliss when we're standing in the fire. I don't think those who have been. I've been working on Mom with Torah for a very, very long time, and she laughs, she scoffs. It becomes a giant joke. I become, it's a joking thing. So at a certain level, there is no ignorance anymore. It's not going to be like, Matthew 7 very clearly says enough, right? We have a little gate, and this little gate, a lot of people make it through the gate, but a lot of people fall left to right. And Messiah, in this chapter, he very clearly says most don't make it. And then a little bit further down, he goes even further. He talks about all these people that are saying, doing miracles in the name of him. They think they obviously know him. And to me, that sounds just like the regular Christians. And so I don't think you're going to be okay living a lawless life and be able to be saved. It just doesn't make it. When 2nd Ezra says it's a drop of water compared to a wave of those who are saved, that's some really sketchy stuff right there. And so I have hopes. I have hopes that it is. She's a great woman. She's a really nice woman. And there's a lot of them. I mean, you look at the Catholics out there. There's just really nice women that are part of the Catholic, these little ladies that sit in their prayer rooms and they run the rosary beads and they truly think that they're making a difference praying to Mother Mary, right? There's just a tremendous amount of people. So I'm glad I'm not Yah. I'm glad I don't have to make these decisions. And according to what Scripture says, she's probably not going to make the kingdom. All right, so here we are into this. Let's, Yahushua in Hebrew means salvation. Yeah, they make up their own, and that is true. They make up their own Elohim in their head. And she has. And, that's the thing, when you read the book of the Nazarene, it says very clearly that our Creator has put that little feeling in your stomach to search for our Creator, right? It's the craziest thing, and the thing about Mom is from ever since I was a little kid, I've known her. She reads one chapter of Scriptures from the front of the book all the way to the end. It takes her 3 years to get through the Bible, and she's been doing this ever since I was a little kid that I can remember, and it's probably before that. So it's not like she hasn't read the Scriptures, but there's a difference between reading them and understanding them, reading them and writing them on your heart, mind, and soul. And it's very clear when you read Torah that the Torah is for all generations. It's for all peoples, everybody. There's no end date. It's not like a box of milk that's going to get expired or anything of the sort. It's for all of us. And it's very, very clear. There is no mystery when it comes to Torah keeping. The mystery is that we have been deceived by Satan, who has become stronger and stronger and stronger throughout the years and decades, to where religion has become the religion of the devil. Any religion at all is what I believe to be something of Hasatan, because you're anti-Yah, you're anti-commandments, you're anti-way. And if you're living in iniquity, which is lawlessness, and you don't give a darn about it, why would our Creator ever be faithful to us? And again, I'm glad I'm not our Creator. I'm glad I'm not having to make this stuff. So let us get into this. Yeah, the church is demonology, straight up demonology, churchianity. It is the religion of comfort. It never teaches. Yeah, it never. You're right. Right? They will literally go downstairs and have a potluck and pork and beans. I still remember that. Right? There was a big fat pig downstairs in our church. They have a potluck every like couple months, and everybody brings something. Somebody always bring the pork and beans. Somebody always bring the big old set of ham. It's sick. So, just reading comments here real quick. Yeah, it's tough. It is really, really tough. Yahushua in Hebrew means salvation. Yeah, all these things. People just laugh. Yeah, food worship, people idol worship. It's terrible. Josh Rhodes, Porky. Yeah, they're nailing Porky Pig, man. He's supposed to be a cartoon. He's not supposed to be eaten. That's never supposed to be eaten. That guy's running around. Okay, let's get into this, guys. Numbers 34 is where we are at. To Jade, will you please give me a breakdown of prior to where we are at?
So before last chapter, we had the children of Reuben, Gad, and half-tribe Manasseh. They asked for land that they conquered, and they asked to put their children, their livestock, and their wives there. And Moshe told them, he's like, why would you do that? Why would you leave your brothers? He goes, no, we won't leave them. We'll go fight with them. We just want to leave our other people here. And when the war's over, we'll come back to the land that you've given us. But this is a good land, and we want this land. So they talked it out. They talked to Yahuwah about it, and they said, that's fine as long as you fight your brothers and fight with your brothers against the other nations. But if you do not keep your word, then you will be cursed. And then we went over the departures of Israel, where they departed from Mitzrayim. I guess at this point now they're up almost 40 years in the desert. They're wilderness wandering around. And it told all the departures where they are at from Egypt to where they are now. And so then Yahuwah told them that they will need to inherit the land. They need to keep the commands or they will be kicked out.
Yep. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, I love you guys in the comments. Have I mentioned this before? I truly love this little ecclesia that we have. You guys are awesome. You guys are very, I guess, spiritual. That's probably like not the correct word, but you guys are Kodesh in a lot of ways, and it brings out the best in all of us, hanging out with those who love Yah, those who love the Scriptures, and we don't find this, right? We live in this country of 3 million people or so, and there's nobody that loves our Elohim. It's a really small world, and if it is a drop of water compared to a wave, I hope that we all make this drop of water, and I hope that we all are going to be able to bear hug each other in this kingdom to come, and just congratulate each other, and just live a much different life than what we are living right now in a world without the demons and darkness that's all around us. All right, 34. Then Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, command the children of Israel and say to them, when you come into the land of Canaan, this is the land which falls to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan to its boundaries. Then your southern border shall be from the wilderness of Zin, along the border of Edom, and your southern border shall be eastward from the east of the Salt Sea. Then your border shall turn from the southern side of the ascent of Akrabbim, continue to Zin, and be on the south of Kadesh Barnea. And it shall go on to Katzar Adar, and continue to Atzmon. And the border shall turn from Atzmon to the Wadi Mitzrayim, and it shall end at the sea. As for the western border, you shall have the great sea for a border. This is your western border. And this is your northern border. From the great sea, you mark out your border line to Mount Hor. From Mount Hor, you mark out your border to the entrance of Kamath. And the edge of the border shall be toward Zedad. And the border shall proceed to Ziphron, and it shall end at Katzar Anan. This is your northern border. And you shall mark out your eastern border from Katzar Anan to Shephan. And the border shall go down from Shephan to Rivlah, and on the east side of Ain. And the border shall go down and reach the eastern side of the Sea of Kinnereth. And the border shall go down along the Yardine, and it shall end at the Salt Sea.
Uh-oh, stop for a second.
What you got?
Jeannie says that the live stopped. Are we still live?
Are we live?
Looks like it.
Here, are we live? Looks
Yeah.
like we're still live. I think we're still live.
Oh, she says, oh, it's fine now.
Okay. Cool. All right, good. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Sometimes it just goes out. Sometimes we, we're kicking it in the sticks, so we don't exactly have, we don't know when it goes in or out. All right, where are we at? You want? boundaries,
I think 12 or 13.
And the border shall go down along the Yarden, and it shall end at the salt sea. This is your land with its surrounding boundaries. And Moshe commanded the children of Israel, saying, this is the land which you inherit by lot, which Yahuwah has commanded to give to the 9 tribes and to the half tribe. For the tribe of the children of Reuben, according to the house of their fathers, and the tribe of the children of Gad, according to the house of their fathers, have received their inheritance. And the half tribe of Manasseh has received its inheritance. The 2 tribes and the half tribe have received their inheritance beyond the Yarden of Jericho eastward, toward the sunrise. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, these are the names of the men who divide the land among you as an inheritance. Eleazar the Kohen, and Yehoshua son of Nun, and take 1 leader of every tribe to divide the land for the inheritance. And these are the names of the men from the tribe of Yahudah, Caleb, son of Yehunnah, and from the tribe of the children of Shimon, Shemuel, son of Amnihud, from the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad, son of Kislon, and a leader from the tribe of the children of Dan, Buki, son of Yogli, from the sons of Joseph, a leader from the tribe of the children of Manasseh, Haniel, son of Ephod, and a leader from the tribe of the children of Ephraim, Kemuel, son of Shiptan, and a leader from the tribe of the children of Zebulun, Elitzaphan, son of Pernach, and a leader from the tribe of the children of Issachar, Paltiel, son of Azan, and a leader from the tribe of the children of Asher, Achihud, son of Shelomi, and a leader from the tribe of the children of Naphtali, Pedahil, son of Amnihud. These are the ones Yahuwah commanded to divide the inheritance among the children of Yisrael in the land of Canaan. Now, what I'm going to go through is something that I don't want to get into trouble here, but a lot of people don't actually know the history of the current state of Israel. Now, there's a current state of Israel that, well, basically prior in the 1800s, a group of people called the Zionists. The Zionists have not actually been around. They've only been around about 150, 160 years. And what the Zionists, well, actually a little more than that now that we're in the 2000s, but the Zionists were different than the actual Judaism. And when you talk and when you listen to some of the rabbis that are out there, they realize that Israel didn't actually have a set of lands as of right now. They were like, yeah, we're all dispersed into the different places. We're all part of the different societies. And, you know, at one point we're going to be called back. So in the 1800s, the Zionists, with this little group of religious zealots inside of Judaism, they came forward and they decided they were going to have an Israel. And their very first place was actually in New York City. And so they went to New York City, and it wasn't New York City at the time, it was a little place outside of New York. And they tried to make it their new homeland. And that didn't work out. So they got booted out of there. And so they went off into 3 or 4 different other places. One of the places was actually a spot inside of Australia. And so by the 1900s, they didn't know what they were doing, any of this. And so what they did is they consulted the Lord. And the Lord went and gave them a certain spot inside the United Nations. Now, the Lord they actually consulted was Lord Rothschild. Lord Rothschild was the guy who was the bankster of all people, right? And so Lord Rothschild went to the United Nations, and they went and got their current spot in Israel, where they are now, and they went into Palestine, and they went with the British Army, they went with the U.S. Army, and they just wiped out everybody, and they just took over the land. And they decided they weren't going to ask anybody where they were supposed to stay anymore, but that was their homeland. And so when you are looking at modern day Israel, you're looking at a Talmudic group of Zionists that are, they're up to a lot of stuff. So I will leave you guys with that, because I don't know if everyone knew anything about this, but that is the history of this. And so I just watched a video on 153news.net about this, and I had no idea. that they were actually in a whole bunch of different spots, 5 different spots were their homeland before they, like the guy said, they consulted the Lord. And, you know, the children of God consulted the Lord, but it was not Elohim Most High, it was Lord Rothschild. And so I thought that was crazy. Okay, so let's continue on into this. So here we are into Lucas 16. Yeah, Lord Rothschild set up the UN. Yah Scriptures is right. Yeah, the UN is just a crazy thing. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, Bail, you got it. Yeah, DNA testing is against the law. Yeah, because it wouldn't. Nobody's like, they're all Turks, right? The people that are all there are not. Number one is there's abortion clinics from one coast to the other coast. Imagine that in the days of Yahuwah, right? The days of Yahuwah, walking with them. Oh yeah, hey Elohim Most High, we're going to set up a little clinic here, and we're going to kill off the kids. But instead of them going to Moloch, we're just going to kill them off right here. Can you imagine how that would go down, right? We know how that would go down. They would be outside the city gates. Everybody would be like chucking rocks at them. They'd be hanging in the trees, and that just wouldn't go, right? I mean, that's as far demonic as you can possibly go. But now you have these group of people that are in control of a lot of things. And I can't really go in much more than that other than some history, because you get banned off platforms like this just for simply saying this stuff. So we'll keep it at that, and we'll roll on. Let's go into this. Jade, Lucas 16, give us the breakdown of where we're at, what's happening.
So we are in the days of Messiah. He is teaching his people. People are now testing him. The Pharisees aren't like what he's doing. They're testing him, trying to get him to trip up, but he is a lot smarter than them and better than them, because the people start coming to him that are, you know, the tax collectors, and they're hated among their people. People that are sick and unclean, they come to see Yahuwah, and he helps them and heals them, and he has to tell them that these people need a physician, not the healthy. So he's here for the lost sheep and not the other ones. And then he gives a lot of parables about how people are going to be saved.
Yep. All right, here we are, Lucas 16. All right. And he said to his Talmudim, there was a certain rich man who had a manager, and he was accused to him as wasting his possessions. And one thing that a lot of people will oftentimes get confused of, you know, Talmudim is not Talmud, right? You have the Talmud, which is all of the other extracurricular books, the oral Torah, the Zohar, the Kabbalah, all of these like black magic books, right? When you become an upper echelon rabbi inside of Talmudic Judaism, you know about their so-called tree of life, and you know about the Kabbalah, and there's literally, when you look at the Freemasons, the Freemason doctrine looks a lot like the Kabbalah. It looks a lot like the Zohar. There's a tremendous amount of stuff into this. We should all be aware of things such as this. And this is why our YouTube channel doesn't get a lot of views. They're scared of sending people over here to this channel, as you can see. Continuing on, 2. So having called him, he said to him, what is this I hear about you? Give an account of your management, for you are no longer able to be manager. And the manager said within himself, what shall I do? For my master is taking the management away from me. I am unable to dig. I am ashamed to beg. I know what I shall do. That, when I am removed from the managership, they might receive me into their houses. And calling every one of his master's debtors to him, he said to the first, how much do you owe them, my master? And he said, 100 measures of oil. And he said to him, take your account and sit down quickly and write 50. Then to another he said, and how much do you owe? And he said, 100 measures of wheat. And he said to him, take your account and write 80. And the master praised the unrighteous manager because he had acted shrewdly, because the sons of this age are more shrewd in their generation than the sons of light. All right, anybody want to try to explain this? Jade.
I don't understand it. I don't understand why he's writing down less. I feel like the man's being angrier.
Well, yeah, hit it.
So basically, this is the people coming into the kingdom. He's trying to get people, telling people to repent, basically, of their sins. But these are like the ones that come later and not all the time. So this is the people who kept Torah all their lives as manager. And this is he's bringing the people who haven't kept Torah, so they're only doing it for a little bit.
That's an interesting perspective. That could be. Eli, you got something? Wake up here, son.
Really?
Come on. What do you got for this? You got anything?
Not really.
Nothing. Okay, so let's talk about what did this guy just do? Where did he go to?
The people that owed him money.
The people that owed the manager money,
Basically
not
the
him.
sinners.
Right. Well, that's the sinners or the people in this parable, right? These are people that owed this guy money, and so there's something that is what this guy did. Number one is that this guy made friends with all of these people, right? Because all of these people who are going to be his friends.
Good, he helped.
Right. Now, there's something that we don't actually know on this whole thing, which might be part of this, but we don't know if those people actually went and made their debts correct, right? We don't know if they just went and took money at this point and paid off their debts. Because as a person who is owed money, even if you get 50% of it, even if you get 25% of it and you clear the debt, it's better than getting nothing, right? So you're getting a little bit of something. So let's continue on because I think this goes into a little bit more. And I say to you, make friends for yourselves by unrighteous wealth, that when you fail, they shall receive you into everlasting dwellings. And this is exactly what this guy did, right? So that was unrighteous wealth, right? That they went into, and then he's going to receive himself into. I mean, he's going to, he went to any of these places that he did this, and he's going to say, hey, can I spend the night? Can I have this? Can you do this? They will be indebted to him because he pulled off some of that payment. He who is trustworthy in what is least is trustworthy also in much. And he who is unrighteous in what is least is unrighteous also in much. If therefore you have not been trustworthy in the unrighteous wealth, who shall entrust you the true? And if you have not been trustworthy in what is another man's, who shall give you what is their own? No servant is able to serve two masters, for either he shall hate the one and love the other, or else he shall cling to the one and despise the other. You are not able to serve Elohim and wealth. Okay, so there's a lot of this. I will give you the first hint on this, that I don't have the answers on this exact parable. I've read this thing over and over and over throughout time, and it's one of these things that if I was the guy who had the money owed to me and my manager had done this, I would flog the guy, right? I would beat him down. But we don't know the exact part of this or what this is supposed to be. So maybe anyone out there that has a better interpretation of this parable, that would be worthy of discussion. What we can discuss that makes very good sense is that nobody is able to serve two masters. For either he shall hate the one and love the other, or shall cling to the one and despise the other. This is very, very clear in life, in everything. Absolute money corrupts absolutely. It doesn't matter how much it is. And you look at the people of the world, if you look at the top of the echelon, the powers that be, the swamp, the ones who run this world, it's all about money, right? Constant money. You look at Donald J. Trump. He's all about money, 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 money. And that's, he has enormous enterprises and enormous, he likes his little hotels extremely nice, and it's all about luxury. It's all about, it's all about all sorts of things, and it all comes up to the very echelon of money. And when you look at who serves who, Donald Trump absolutely serves Satan, without a shadow of a doubt. You can't talk about women like he talks about. You can't have all of this stuff. And guaranteed, guys, this guy is absolutely all over the pedophile of Epstein Island. That entire system that he threw away, that he, basically the whole Epstein Island list is a slap to the face of all the common people that look at us and look at our power, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can sit and clamor like slaves, but all these people that voted for Donald J. Trump, all they can do is sit there and, chant mega, which is a satanic phrase. And, what can they do, right? Free men don't vote. We don't vote for these man-made entities. We have a vote for the kingdom. And you place your vote by your worthiness of the Torah, by your keeping the Torah, your faithfulness to Messiah Yahushua, your faithfulness to Yahuwah. And so when you get rich, Most people that get rich just want to start protecting those riches at the expense of their soul. And we have this commandment that says to guard our souls. And so it's, it's easier for a rich man to, make it through the eye of a needle than it is for him to make it into Shamayim. I think I jacked that quote up. What is it?
Yeah, it's easier for a camel to pass the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of
Right,
heaven.
thank you very much. And the camel will make it through the eye of a needle. And it's actually the correct translation is it's the eye of the Jerusalem had a little itty bitty tiny eye wall, a little tiny door, and you could not get through it on a camel, right? And that's the whole thing. It's easier for that camel to get on its knees and to slide through this little itty bitty tiny doorway than it is for a rich man to make it through to the kingdom. So we got to be very, very careful with who we serve, how we serve him. And if our Creator has given you wealth, praise Yah. But it's something that, again, absolute cash and absolute money, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we have to make sure that we're not on the other side of that. 14. And the Pharisees, who loved silver, also heard all this and were sneering at him. So he said to them, you are those who declare yourselves righteous before men, but Elohim knows your hearts. Because what is highly thought of among men is an abomination in the sight of Elohim. Guys, this is big stuff here, right? This is all this stuff that we think is like, oh, high and mighty, and you're at the top of this echelon. You get a little plaque for your service, for your job, or whatever your job is. You hang your degrees on the wall. All of these things, man-made stuff, is simply that. It's man-made, right? And so if we are not Torah bound, if we are not loving our Elohim, if we are not hooked into the laws of our Creator, everything else is it's useless. We're not making the most of our time. Every bit of our time should be invested in making sure that we are walking this Torah to the greatest perfection that we can align our lives to. And that doesn't mean that we don't sin. It doesn't mean that we don't fall. It doesn't mean that we're perfect, right? All the Christian religion, they'll sit there and go, oh yeah, you're perfect. Oh, you don't sin, huh? Right? And they have zero idea even what sin is. And it is with the Torah keepers that we actually know what sin is, because we study the Torah, we read the Torah, and we don't do things in this world without walking with the Torah. 16. The Torah and the Nevi'im are until Yochanan. Since then, the reign of Elohim is being announced, and everyone is doing violence upon it. And it is easier for the Shamayim and the earth to pass away than for one tittle of the Torah to fall. This is a Christian book. This is all in the Christian's book. It says this, right? It says not one jot or tittle of the Torah will ever pass away till heaven and earth are gone, right? There, you can look out and see the Shamayim. You can see the heavens. You can see the earth. It's right before our eyes. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. And it says that it's easier for the skies to fall and the earth to be destroyed than for one droplet, one iota, one set of words in the Torah to ever fall. How can this be when the laws have been nailed to the cross? How can it be when everybody says that Jesus came for a brand new way? It can't be. It can't be. But yet this is the doctrine inside the Christian religion, but it all comes to Paul said. That's it, right? That's all they care about. If Paul didn't say it, it's not in their doctrine. And Paul wasn't writing to you or me or anyone here. He was writing to a little itty bitty tiny assembly of people that had problems that he was responding to. We don't even know what in the world the very first of the letters to they wrote to him. And so when you take that as doctrine over the Torah, when you have things right here that says not one jot or tittle, it's easier for the Shamayim and earth to pass away than for one tittle of the Torah to fall. Incredible. Where am I at? I just went to the next thing. 15 and my 16. 18, thanks. Everyone divorcing his wife and marrying another commits adultery. And everyone marrying her who is divorced from her her husband commits adultery. Okay? So, this is one of these things that it doesn't matter if you divorce your wife, you're still going to make her an adulterer. You're still going to become an adulterer. That's what marriage is about. It's about a one man, a one woman system. And if you are divorcing your spouse, when you guys get into the next bed with the next person, that is adultery. And you have made her an adulteress, you have made him an adulteress, the same kind of thing, right? Loyalty is absolutely everything, guys. If you are in a relationship, guys, go to your spouse, love them with everything that you have. It's not always easy. Miss Nicole and I have been married, I don't know how long, it feels like 50 years. Well, how long is it?
23.
23, but it feels like 50. And you know, it's not always been, you know, roses. It's always, sometimes it's been guns.
24 years.
24 years, she says. We forget after a while. It's not always easy, right? It is a work. It is something that is a give and it isn't a take. And it's something that is made from our Creator to join two fleshes into one. And so, guys, there's always a reason to stay with your spouse. There's always a reason to fight for this marriage and not to, you know, when people look over the side of the fence, they don't realize the Monsanto guy has just come by with his giant spray rig and glyphosate the entire grass. So you'll be sitting there eating that grass on the other side of the fence as you look up and your stomach's starting to feel a little woozy. And all of a sudden you realize that it's not what you think it is. And so marriage is something spectacular that is meant to be with this woman forever. And you know, the closer you guys are in Torah, the better shot that people have of keeping these bonds to our Creator and keeping your bonds to your spouses. Continuing on. 19. But there was a certain rich man who used to dress in purple and fine linen and lived luxuriously every day. And purple is the color of royalty. That is, back in the day, they did not have this color very much. And so if you were dressed in purple, then you were the man. You were inside of royalty. And there was a certain beggar named Eleazar, being covered with sores, who was placed at his gate, and longing to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Indeed, even the dogs came and licked his sores. And it came to be that the beggar died, and was carried by the messengers to the bosom of Abraham. And the rich man also died and was buried. And while suffering tortures in the grave, having lifted up his eyes, he saw Abram far away and Eleazar in his bosom. And crying out, he said, Father Abram, have compassion on me, and send Eleazar to dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am suffering in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that in your life you received your good, and likewise Eleazar the evil. But now he is comforted, and you are suffering. And besides all this, between us and you a great chasm has been put, so that those who want to pass from here to you are unable, nor do those from there pass to us. So big stuff, right? A lot of stuff. You know, a lot of people are like, well, you know, eternity is not forever. Everywhere in scriptures I've ever seen, it is forever. We have one chance, one time to make our way, to make our time, to make our path to our Creator. And it's going to be sad. There's going to be gnashing of teeth. When Messiah says, depart from me, you who work lawlessness, that's very grim. It's grim for people like my mother. It's people that have known that they should be doing that because they have somebody that's telling them, or the ability that our Creator has given, that little nagging feeling that there's more to this religious system than all of these devils and demons on these pulpits are telling people, right? And so this is the same kind of thing that we get in the book of Second Ezra. It's the same kind of book that the information we get in the book of Enoch. It talks in the book about Enoch, about the different chasms. It talks about the little, there's like holes in the rocks that the good people are put, the bad people are put, the messengers of evil have been put. It just basically, scriptures is corresponding with scriptures. It's telling us that, look, we have one shot at this, right? Don't be that, the people. We want to be the anomaly. We want to be the small group, the itty bitty tiny people, the drop of water compared to the wave. That's who we want to be. Continuing on, 27. Then he said, Then I beg you, Father, that you would send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brothers. Let him warn them, lest they also come to this place of torture. Abraham said to him, They have Moshe and the Neviim. Let them hear them. And he said, No, Father Abraham, but if someone from the dead goes to them, they shall repent. But he said to him, If they do not hear Moshe and the Neviim, neither would they be persuaded, even if one should rise from the dead. So this is like one of these doomsday things that I have for my dear mature mother, right? What do we have? We have something that is, if even the dead aren't going to convince the living that they need to abide in the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Creator, they have Moshe. They have the Nevi'im, right? They have all the prophets. They have Moshe. They have all the scriptures before them. This is what this world is right now that we are in. Nobody's going to ever have an excuse that says, well, we never had a chance to read the scriptures. You've had a chance to watch MTV and HBO and all these foul movies and all this demonology and listen to all this satanic music, but yet we've never ever sat down and read the bread of life. We've never ever saw a different way forward, and we've never ever just been so inclined to ever read our scriptures and look for something else. I see the world that passes away. I see the darkness and the devils and demons and the satanic monsters that are all around us just gaining traction and gaining speed and strength. Like, if there is such a darkness, isn't there going to be such a light? Isn't everything that we see in scriptures going to come to fruition? We've seen all this, right? We have seen literally, if you're looking for somebody that fits almost every bit of the Antichrist, and I'm not saying that's him, but Mr. Donald J. Trump, he fits everything. When you look at the type of dude this guy is and what he's doing, having coins over in Israel and all the people in Israel thinking he's their Messiah, I don't know what better Antichrist there could be. So we are living at the cusp of the end, and this is where we need to dedicate our lives to the Torah, dedicate our lives to our Messiah, and walk the same path that our Messiah walked. And there's not a jot or tittle of the Torah that will ever be gone until heaven and earth pass away. And we don't see that happening yet. And so the Torah is in session till the end of time, forever and ever and ever. Jade, will you please bless our brothers and sisters?
He will barack you and guard you. He will make his face shine upon you and show favor to you. He will lift his face upon you and give you peace.
Yep. Okay. All right, everybody. We love you all. Thank you guys for being part of this thing. Yep. Like Sue Smith says, we are to mourn for the lost souls, but rejoice in the ones that make it. Yeah, that's out of the book of 2nd Ezra, right? That's what Ezra was sitting there crying and mourning and weeping, and Uriel told him that. He says, you know what? Don't cry for those lost. There's a lot, right? Rejoice for those who are in covenant, those who are the remnant. All right, guys. Shabbat shalom, everybody. We love you.
Walking steady on this road you made, every step guided by your ways. When I listen close, I understand all your truth held in your perfect plan. Rising higher than before, lifting praise from deep in my core. Lifting praise, Yahuwah, your presence sets me free. Dancing wild 'cause you're all I need. My heart alive with pure delight as I move within your light. Dancing, praising, celebrating. Your ways are true and I'm not waiting to lift my hands to you. In the morning when I rise to pray, in the evening as I end each day, every word you speak becomes my song, teaching me where I belong. Rising higher than before, your truth is what I'm living for. Living for Yahuwah, your presence sets me free. Dancing wild 'cause you're all I need. My heart alive with pure delight as I move within your light. sets me free. Dancing wild, cause you're all I need. My heart alive with pure delight. As I move within your light, dancing, praising, celebrating. Your ways are true and I'm not waiting to lift my hands to you. To lift my hands to you. Forever lifting praise to you.
All right, beautiful family. I think Sister Barb said it best. Be strong and courageous. Yahuwah is with you. Absolutely. May Yahuwah bless you and keep you. May his light forever shine on you. May the Torah forever be in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, and with you and your families. May Messiah Yahushua always be a part of your life, and may we all high five.